Yes, lovely people. Brilliant news to start the day as Arne Slot reveals that Alexander Isak is in the final stages of his rehab. We also speak more about the Diomande links and also speak about the whole winger situation as a whole. And we also speak about the Szoboszlai and Joshua Abe contract situations and what Liverpool should be doing about these situations. I'm here with Jamie and Enz. More to follow, more to join the stream. Sit back, relax. It's the LFC Focus Show live. And let's get into this.
Hi, this is Jordan Henderson, and you're watching Team Kopish.
Being free back again, ripping LFC till the end, so go on tell a friend. If they rockin' red, they're 10 champions, we the best, we come again. Kopish clean up in every region, innovation in every season. Catch up in all the fast match up in real rap and drifty go on tell them this is that, this is that. This is Kopish, this is Kopish. Reppin' Liverpool till the end, champions, we the best, come again. This is that, this is Kopish, this is Kopish. The main free back up in your screen, real ones know this the place to be. This is Kopish.
Good morning, lovely people. I hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel. Please do hit that like button and subscribe. Oh, am I here?
You are here.
This is bad. I am. Okay, cool. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Please do smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. Jay, Enz, how you guys doing today?
All good, man. All good, bro. All good.
There's certain times I wish you guys in the audience could hear what's said before stream start because you
really never, Cal, never. Never.
Yeah. You guys think Jamie's bad online. You ain't seen it before a show starts, man. Different kettle of fish. Right, let's bring in another guest as well. Be like yourself, Ram. Can you hear us, Ram?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, bro. We hear you.
Good.
How you doing?
I'm very good, bro. After last night's crazy watch along. Last night's crazy watch along with Drift. Yeah, I'm very good. Very good.
I know what's going to happen. I'm going to say some stuff and I'm going to get called an Arsenal lover and all this stuff. Are we in a position to really ridicule Arsenal?
Allow it, man. Allow it.
Yes, we are.
Do you know why?
Everyone in the country is. It don't matter where you play, what league you're in, and where you are in life. Everyone's got a right to go at Arsenal.
Everyone can have a go.
Okay, I know.
It's because of the way they've been talking.
Talk your shit, walk your walk. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what you got to do in life. So, yeah. When a bitch comes to you, you gotta get got. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Okay. I wouldn't have said like that.
I have never heard that phrase in my life.
Again, it's like my mum used to tell me when I was younger.
Crazy.
Crazy.
But yes, Cal, we can cuss out. As in, when it comes to mentality and all that kind of stuff, you can. And watch. Well, to be fair, me and Drift stopped watching the game after when it's 2-0. We started watching the Champions League. And then the chat, big up the chat, was telling us that it was 2-1. And then I got a notification from Neeks that it was 2-2. I'm like, what? Nah. 2-2 to the worst team potentially in English football history in the top flight. Bro, nah. The bottle. I wish I had a bottle right now because the bottle don't seem good right now. They're losing their bottle.
So does everyone here believe that Arsenal aren't going to win the league then?
Yeah, I think City win the league, man.
They still got 5 points. I know City's got the game in hand, but they are still 5 points clear. You can drop points against Newcastle and then it stays 5 points. And you're like, oh,
that's the thing. That's the thing, and because Man City, I said this a couple of weeks ago. Man City don't look like they don't look like they're up for this league title. This Man City ain't up for a league title this season. But the fact that they beat us 2-1 at Anfield, the first time they ever beaten us since 2004 with fans. The fact that it was the first time they did the Premier League double on us in almost, what was it, 80 years, 90 years?
36.
Yeah. Like, this is this, and the fact that Arsenal, it was the way they drew. That's the thing I would be worried about. It's the way they drew. The last minute, Raya made a mistake. I can't remember who scored, was completely free. Calafiori could have done better clearing it off the line. That's signs of mentality, man. The fact that Raya and Gabriel couldn't communicate with one another. They didn't hear each other.
Do you know the other thing as well? Everyone talks about City's defence, yeah? City have only conceded 24 goals. Arsenal conceded 20, right? It's, and then they've gone and bought Gay and Semenyo, which I think is going to help them win it. So, and Arsenal, I think, have only won 2 Premier League games in their last 7 matches.
Yeah. It hurts because it's an indictment of how bad we've been this season. And I've said this before. I said this on Drifty Channel. If we were at least 20% more competitive this season, we would be in the title race. 20.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone disputes it. I think we said that on your channel ends yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I think you said it was 10-15% better. It'd be a difference.
Yeah, because they haven't. It's not like Arsenal set the world alight this season. They've just been able to be consistent in terms of getting across the line in the games. We've done the opposite and not being able to. Whether that's tactical, the manager, players, individual errors, whatever it is, we've not found that. But even then, you look at the season, you go, like, we just had to be a little bit better and would have been able to compete this season. It's not like Man City and Arsenal ran away with the league. They've not. They've dropped points numerous games. Yeah. Jay just said that's their second win in 7 games. Like, if we could have put a string of, and especially with the games we've had, especially with the games we've had, if we put the string of runs games together, we would have been in and around the mix, bro. So that's why I think it's a little bit depressing that we're not involved in it, especially being champions and the expectations going into the season. But yeah, it is just what it is, isn't it? Like, it's going to be down to them. I wish there was so many more games, and maybe Liverpool could have found a rhythm or something, bro. Because
I don't know about that.
Nah, but you look at you just said they have 1 in 7. We decided to lose 9 in 12.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, we're shit.
So, even when we did that,
and we left that back in 2025, bro. We left. That
I hear it, man. I hear it.
Is it me?
Optimism. All right, no worries.
Is it me or is Enz's voice is not in sync with his video?
Probably. I blame Cal though.
Yeah, I thought that it is. I thought it was just me, so that's why I didn't say anything because mine's.
It's probably just StreamYard entirely.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
No, it's Cal's fault. It's Cal's fault, man. It's Cal's fault.
I thought I was going crazy.
No.
What you don't know is I'm dubbing for Ends. So when he talks,
in regards to us then, guys. So with regards to the league then, obviously last season we got labelled as winning the league and we were the best of a bad bunch. If City win the league, is it an indictment on the league? And is the league officially a farmers' league if City go and win this league? Because it would have only been Liverpool and City would have won it since 2017?
I think pretty much every league is a farmers' league that when you've got the same people winning it every year.
So you already think it's a farmers' league?
Like, if you look at Spain, Barcelona or Real Madrid, the odd occasion Atletico Madrid pop their head around the corner. You know, in England, it's usually either City or Liverpool in recent years. Before that, it was Man United a lot. In Italy, obviously, everyone's so shit, it could be anyone. I think if you've got a league that have got dominant champions in it, they usually always go win that league. So is every league a farmers' league? Germany is usually always Bayern Munich unless there's an occasional blip. So...
But that's what everyone says. Everyone calls the German league the Farmers' League. Obviously, Real Madrid and Barcelona effectively swap who wins that title every season. France is now PSG predominantly. You have the odd occasion where a team picks up every sort of 5 or 6 years. England was one of the places where obviously you had Arsenal, Man United going. We had Blackburn win it. Then we had Leicester. So you had maybe 2 surprises in the last 30 years, which was Blackburn and Leicester. obviously we've won it. Chelsea, Man City now. Arsenal had done the rivalry. The fact that City haven't been at their best, at anything close to their best, and still potentially could win this league. I hate to ask the question, but is this country's football overrated?
That's a crazy way to put it, by the way. Can I just quickly answer that? And then in terms of since it's changed to the Premier League, Man United's won it the most 13, and Man City, you'd probably say. I mean, we stopped them from doing probably 8 in a row because they had 3. Then we interrupted with our 1. Then they won 4 after that. So you could look at it as a farmers league. To be fair, it's not like Arsenal has won it. When was the last time they won it? 20 odd years ago.
Yeah, 2020.
I'm not too sure how long Chelsea hasn't won it as well. And then obviously you've had Leicester that stepped in a season where none of the top teams decided to turn up and they were just the most consistent. But yeah, I think you're right. You tend to look at the 2 teams. There's normally just 2 teams fighting it out. Even though there's other big clubs in there, it's never like a 4-horse race or a 3-horse race. Or it's normally a 2-horse race, which is pretty much in most leagues around the world. So if we're going to class those leagues as farmers leagues, then I think you would have to use the same sentiment with this league as well. Is it more competitive? Probably, but I think a lot of the teams don't really play. They don't really play that brand of football where they're going at each other. It's normally one team sits in a low block and then they go on counter-attacks and one other team's trying to win it. And yes, obviously there's teams that's going to have better players, quote unquote. But if you want it to be competitive, why don't we just go at each other and see who wins the game of football? Because when we've seen the lesser teams, let's call them that, they've shown that they've got good players. They've shown that they can score good goals. Yeah. They've shown that they can play good football, but they don't do it enough. And obviously, I know there's a lot of money that circulates in the league, so not everyone can try and go gung-ho. You might end up getting relegated trying to play that brand of football. Company tried to do it with Burnley when he got promoted, didn't he? He tried to play that expansive, and then he got shown like sometimes you're going to have to do the low block stuff. Yeah. But if you want to have a competitive league, I think everyone has to try and play football against each other, and then you see. I think that's when you can name it. But that's just my views on how I see it. But yeah, you'd easily say it's probably a farmers league because only ever 2 teams go for it. In the last, 10 years, only City and Liverpool?
Yeah, it's kind of mad.
And City has won, 7 of them? So, so it's crazy.
That's mad,
yeah, I think when you can define it as a farmers league is when you feel when it's like there's only one standout team that will always win it. They're so far and beyond the rest. So like Bayern Munich, for example, the way their footballing pyramid is, Bayern is going to win it every single day of the week because of how German football is run, the 50-50 rule, 49-51 rule that they have, and the fact that Bayern Munich's revenue just out-trumps. Yeah. It's like probably 3 or 4 times bigger than Borussia Dortmund's, which is crazy to think about. You got the same with League with PSG. The revenue they've got, the owners that they've got, just far beyond even what Monaco has, who's probably their closest. La Liga, the way that the structure that Barcelona and Real Madrid, they get most of the revenue, and then everybody else get to share it. Then it goes to Atletico, then it goes to everyone else. It's a bit crazy. This one is where the revenue's kind of shared out for everybody else, but it's always the same people because of the fact that, like I said, from 2018 to about 2022, 23-ish, we haven't seen a team, a level of squad building in my lifetime when we saw City and Liverpool. The squad building that we had was the best that I've ever seen. But it's because everybody else has been playing catch up for such a while. It's become a little bit like a farmers league. Granted, Arsenal should have got at least 20. They should have won the league in 2023. They should have maybe won it in 24, arguably. But if you're going on by the definition itself, it has become a farmers league because everybody else has been not at the level of what City and Liverpool were.
So when Man United was dominating it, did no one class it as a farmers league then?
That's a shout, and no one really. I don't really.
Social media weren't really a thing then.
Yeah, I
though,
was going
was
to
it?
say I didn't even hear of the
But
term until
I would say
that long ago.
so. If we look at the 2000s, I would say Man United had their period. Then Arsenal came about, did a little something here and there. Then Chelsea came along, and then Man United came back. That's how it went, because they won it from 98 to 2001. And then obviously Arsenal won it in 2002. Then United won it back again in 2003. Then Arsenal again. Then Chelsea in 2006, up until 2006. Then from there, from 06 to 09, Man United won it. And then it became City United again. So
I wanna sorry to cut you, Ram. I want to just ask the elephant in the room. City's charges still haven't been addressed. It's up to like 130 now.
Yeah.
If they go and win this, and again, I'm saying this as a hypocrite because I'd rather City win it than Arsenal because I just know their fan base will be unbearable. But if City go and win it, is that not indictment on the Premier League? The fact that they're still able to go and sign players and still operate as normal, considering these charges have been looming for such a while now, and everything just looks very dodgy, especially since COVID.
Well, look, anything could happen. Prince Andrew just got arrested, so anything can happen. It is an
how long did
indictment.
that take, Jamie?
Exactly, and this is how long this is taking. It's all going to happen this year, you know. Look, I'd rather a team that is allegedly corrupt win the league over Arsenal. Tells you everything about Arsenal. But yeah, the fact that City have been allowed to get away with this hanging over their head for so long without it being sorted out is kind of ridiculous. But you know, the Premier League care about money, and no one brings money in like Premier League teams. So as long as that keeps happening, everyone's good.
Yeah, I think it's more along the line as well as a lot of teams, the Premier League's looked at as the end all and be all, the best league in the world, most revenue, most commercial, most TV deals, whatever. And I think they don't want something like that shining any light on the Premier League because we've seen it happen in the Italian league, the corruption there, people breaking rules, whatever. You've seen it in the Spanish league as well. I'm not too sure if we've seen anything like that in the Bundesliga, but I'm sure you guys will educate me on that. But yeah, the Premier League's kind of, even though we've had teams slightly great in the FFP era there, it's not been this crazy. Like 130 charges. I don't know what all of them are. Let's say if there's like 10, but there's really bad ones in there. They don't want that on the Premier League as well, because if we want to be the most competitive, the best league in the world where every player should come to, you don't want any sort of corruptions or anything like that hanging over the Premier League. That's why they probably left it. So when it dies down, no one's really talking about it. They can then issue those charges out real quick and then do the sanctions under the carpet. Maybe, Jay, you're right. Maybe they'll do it this year because then the World Cup is here. So if they did it then, the World Cup would take precedent. No one will really care. Like, Man City start off with 6 points. 6 points the next season. Do you know what I mean? And no one would care because the main focus will now be on the World Cup, and everyone wants to talk about that and who's going to win it. And so they might do it that way.
If you look at it historically, you know what? Ends has just hit the nail on the head. If you look at it historically, when Marseille were charged for their cheating in '93, all the best players from their team just left, and people were thinking about whether French football will be up there with Italian football. Then just didn't end up being that way. And then you look at the Calciopoli scandal in Italy, when Juventus got done, Inter got, I think every big club got done. That's when you could argue that was the start of the decline of Italian football, was that scandal. This could be, if Man City get found guilty, this could be a massive turning point for English football.
I disagree with that, Ram. Sorry to cut you, bro. The reason why I disagree is because there's already so much money and prestige in the Premier League at the moment.
But you said that about Serie A.
Fact.
Look at bro. We went through again. We know firsthand about the might of AC Milan. Juventus team was also stacked.
Yeah, it was.
Inter Milan. Well, you could argue Inter Milan held out for so long because Mourinho, they got a generational manager, Mourinho. They could hold out for a little bit longer. But this is the thing. It's gonna be an interesting thing for English football in general, because you look at the history of other clubs, other leagues, and how dominant they were. This could have a massive effect on English football in general, and also just how marketable it is, because the whole point of English football's idea was the best in terms of quality and the best in terms of competitiveness. And the fact that one of your biggest marketing standpoints is on competitiveness, and one of the greatest teams that the Premier League has ever seen was built on potential cheating, it does ruin a lot of stuff, man.
What would be the knock-on effect as well? Maybe the reason why they haven't found the charges, or they've got the charges, they haven't given them yet, is probably because maybe they have other people that's within the same situation. Maybe there's going to be refereeing, just speculating. Maybe there's going to be so much knock-on effect. They have to be careful how they give out these charges or when they give them out, because the knock-on effect is a lot. Like, it could not decline the league, because I think people would still want to play in the Premier League. But if Man City get found for charge and then they release, oh, these refs were helping us, or that ref, or when we got this point it wasn't, and this team was, then there's a knock-on effect. Same as what you saw in the Italian league, innit? It was just a knock-on effect of you like, right, every team, officials and higher ups was involved in this. And you don't want that in the Premier League.
I hear it. Right, let's move on to Liverpool news, guys. Arne Slot spoke at the press conference today and spoke about Alexander Isak, and said that Isak has entered the final stages of his rehab. He's back now, or is about to start training with the football. He's been doing his gym work, and the leg is healed, but obviously he did want to be cautious and say, look, anything can happen in this final stage. There could be setbacks, etc. So he didn't want to put a time scale on it, which I think is the right approach. But Enz, I'll start with you before you got to jump. How good is this news, and how important could Isak be for the running to the end of the season if he's able to come back?
I'll start with the positives, because I think it'll be a massive boost to get him back. I thought he was finding somewhat of a form, scoring a couple of goals, and the goals that he scored was really good. And then you started to see a little bit of the Isak that we originally thought we was getting. That's about it, really, because you look at how well Ekitike is doing. How do you now? Isak is back fit. How do you justify taking him out the team to put Isak back in? And a lot will say, look, you spent a lot of money on him, so you would have to put him in. He's your number 9. That's the guy you have to start. But then, a lot of things, we might have to rejig the team, the formation. Maybe some people say Ekitike can play left wing. I'm not really a fan of that. Doesn't mean that he can't drift out there and do some stuff, but I'm a fan of putting him in front of goal because the kid's got it. So how do you combat that at the moment? But in the positive swing again, look, the Champions League's around the corner, the FA Cup. Can he come back and help us out? But are we going to be in those tournaments by the time he's back? That's the other question. We got Wolves next in the FA Cup. Liverpool should be strong enough to beat them, but we saw Arsenal, the leaders, could even beat them. And when we played them last, we've just about beat them, and they had a strong second half where we was like, damn, they can actually play when they're on it. So there's no guarantee. The positives, he comes back and he's in the squad, but where are we going to be as a team? How far are we going to be in competitions that you can massively make a difference and turn the season around and actually make, do you know what? Poor Premier League season, but we've won the Champions League, or we've won the FA Cup and the Champions League. At least we've won a trophy in our bad season. But I just always think about the knock-on effect. Once he's back, what does that mean for Ekitike? Because I think he can't just come back. And obviously he's not going to be thrown straight into the 11. Obviously he's going to get his fitness level up. He's going to have to work to get himself back fit. But what I don't want is, as soon as he's back fit, you just chuck Ekitike at the team and go, yeah, Isak is. I don't know if that shares. I don't think that tells the right story, because I want to keep both of them at our football club, and we got to find the right way to manage them. And that maybe next season we find a system that suits both of them in the team. But yeah, I don't want to just throw Ekitike out just because Isak is back.
Jay, I want to come to you next on that. At the beginning of the season, there was always the question, how is both players going to affect each other's performances and form, etc. Now, obviously, Isak hasn't really discovered much form this season, so Ekitike has picked up the mantle and he's really run with it. And everything Enz says, I fully agree with, and I echo as well. However, could there not be an argument from the other side to say that Isak coming back now actually helps Ekitike, because it actually takes some of the burden off him? So that last 20 minutes where we usually start seeing fade, maybe Isak can start playing in that 20 minutes so Ekitike actually gets a break and gets to replenish before the next fixture.
Yeah, like, look, what I haven't seen slot stuff this morning, so what is the final stage of rehab meant to be?
Running,
Yeah.
And then it's just about getting the gym work in as well, just getting your strength, get your fitness back, and then you start doing ball work and you start moving in different directions to make sure the muscles or bones are set in the right place. And then go from there. And then once he's ticked all the boxes he needs to, then he'll come back in and do the team training.
So what are we saying? 4 weeks he'd be back in the team, yeah?
Give or take.
That's why he said give or take.
Yeah. He sort of spoke about maybe the international break in March, but he also didn't want to put a categorical stamp on it.
Now, because we're winning the cup double this season, he's going to be he's going to be very important for the later stages. So, yeah, man, look, Ekitike took the mantle and has run with it this season. I don't think Isak deserves to get straight back into the team. He's going to have to play himself into the team because it's Ekitike's spot right now, and rightly so. I don't think they're ever going to play together under Arne Slot. I think it's going to be one or the other. We're apparently in the market for wingers. So if we're in the market for wingers, that tells me he hasn't got no plans of playing them together because it's still going to be like a 4-3-3. So it's going to be very interesting. But right now, it's Ekitike's spot and it's Ekitike's position, and Isak has got to prove he should be number one, which will be exciting next season because that's when you go to see the real Isak again. Next season, you go to see the real player. Get a pre-season under his belt. He'd be more fit, ready to go. And then we see what happens. But right now, I don't see Isak getting in this team.
Ram, just off the back of what Jamie was saying, is it fair to say that Ekitike keeps the spot from now to the end of the season? Isak helps where he's needed and where the coach sees fit. And then next season, it's a clean slate and they both fight to see who starts in the games for Liverpool.
Yeah, I think so. I think the main thing that you want to do is want to manage the guy. Like he came off no pre-season at the start, and then he came in, got a little bit of a knock, so he's out for a little bit longer. Then came back in, played for a little bit, didn't see the proper quality, scored his goal against Tottenham, but got his leg broken in the process, and now he's back in the sidelines. You've got to be very, very careful with how you're going to manage his minutes. And the one thing you don't want to do is go into the last stages of the season and Isak breaks down again. That's the last thing we need. So I think for now, look, Hugo's had his criticisms in terms of his finishing, but he's still a quality player. You still see the quality player in him. So I wouldn't be too upset if he starts until the end of the season. However, that don't mean you don't neglect Isak. When we have a couple games where we need a goal, bring him in. But don't expect him to play every single game, because if you do, you're going to break him down again and we're going to be back to square one. So for me, it's not worth the risk. I'll keep him on the sidelines for a little bit longer, manage his minutes, manage the game time. If we have a second leg in the Champions League where we're cruising, then bring him on. Yeah. But for now, just don't risk it.
There might be games this season, later on this season, where they do play together just because we haven't got them wingers yet. And he could play Ekitike after left, or he could play him as two wide forwards sort of thing, and Verts as a false nine or something crazy like that. I don't know, but I just, with Isak, I'm all about next season. I'm all about next season with Isak. I want to make sure he's properly fit, has a great pre-season, and then we see the real Isak next year. I don't think we should be rushing the man back. He weren't fit at the beginning of the season either, because he didn't have a pre-season, and that showed straight away. Then he goes and breaks his leg. No, I think we just need to be patient with Alexander. He's going to be a tremendous striker for us, but let him start fresh next season. He'll play some part this season. Help Ekitike out and stuff like that. But leave Ekitike as the main guy and see what happens next season.
The room, well, not the rumors. The fanfare from the club is that there's a clamour to see them both play in the same team together at the same time. Now, I think we got a glimpse of it a couple times this season. We had a situation where people were saying it's got to be one or the other. If it is going to be both of them starting together, what is the formation we play? Because I don't see us going to 3 at the back, even though I think we have the players to do that. How do we incorporate both players? Because again, like Enz before he left, I don't want to see Ekitike pushed out to left wing because I think that hampers his game. I don't think that helps Liverpool either. So how do we actually play both of these players and get the best out of them? Big up yourself as well, Mons.
Big up, man. The opposite of what you said.
What's the opposite of what I said?
He can play on the left.
Based on what?
Based on the fact that he's our best left-sided player. Outside of probably, again, Rio, you could argue maybe Rio is more jinky and whatnot.
Better than Wirtz?
Of course he's better than he's more with Wirtz on the left. Wirtz can play on the left, but Wirtz in the Premier League against the back five, he gets beat up on the left. Like there's ways of counteracting Wirtz very successfully on the left. The opposition, I feel like playing Wirtz on the left is more based on the opposition than Wirtz playing there and just being good every time, or it being on our side of things. We're not in the driver's seat when Wirtz plays on the left. When Ekitike naturally drifts to the left, but you can also make an argument that Isak likes to drift to the left as well.
Yeah,
which is also kind of a little bit, which is why this is still a conversation. I think Ekitike, while I'd like to see him up top in a front two, Ekitike was a left striker, and yes, that's not the same as a left winger, but I feel like you can still, even when Ekitike plays up top, he just finds himself drifting out wide and receiving the ball in that left channel and then doing his magic. He likes to go on the mazy run and hit the ball from outside the box if he can. That's his style. I feel like that's his way of telling us as well that he's more than capable of playing on the left. And if Liverpool... If Liverpool... would it be easier to play a front two, especially with Salah becoming phasing him out the team slowly? Wonderful. But if we're still going to go for the 4-3-3 model, then playing Ekitike on the left... playing Ekitike on the left is a lot more advantageous than people think. He sometimes plays on the left himself when he's not playing there. Like we can't ignore his natural. I'm not saying he's naturally a left-sided player, but he drifts out all the time, so often. How about this? There's times that Ekitike is not even in the 6-yard box when he needs to be. There's only 2 parts of his game that I look at and go, yeah, we need to work on that extensively. It's the 50p head that he has. But even he's got a 50p head, which is fine. I've got a peanut head. It's fine. We can't get surgery. We're born with it, die with it. And of course, I didn't lie. You know what I'm saying? And of course,
yeah.
And
I mean,
he doesn't.
The peanut head thing is still mad.
Yeah. Talk about my head shape. I talk about my head shape. But and his. I think also sometimes his. I like it about him, but also as a striker, it can be a double-edged sword. He loves to come and get the ball and make something happen, but I think sometimes he could be in the 6-yard box, right place, right time, a bit more often for me. So
I think there's a difference between drifting out to the left and actually being a left winger in a slot team. Because let's be honest, if you're a left winger or a right winger in a slot team, more often than not, you're wide and you're being underlapped by your fullbacks. Yeah. So Ekitike playing centrally at the moment gives him that freedom and that license to roam around, and oftentimes he does pick up pockets of space on the left, but he's not playing as a left winger. He's able to drift. If you're playing as a left winger or right winger in a slot team, you don't have that freedom, and I think that's what would stifle Ekitike at Liverpool, and I think it would actually hinder his progress.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like we might not get the best out of Ekitike. But the best Ekitike is still not better than the best Isak, whether we like it or not, guys. Whether we like it or not. The best
right
Isak.
Now. Not right now, yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah. We can talk about the future, but you know what I'm saying, Jay? I feel like, bro, that generally speaking, Ekitike's ceiling is there an argument that it could be higher than Isak's? I wouldn't argue you down.
I wouldn't.
You know what I'm saying?
There's an argument. There's an argument.
I wouldn't argue you down. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? However, like, I do agree with Jamie. I do think the best of Isak we won't be seeing this season. I do believe that. we will have to just deal with the glimpses. We have to take the glimpses that we get once he comes back after the international break. However, if I can see Gakpo and Ekitike interchange and it look the best we've looked, I'm pretty sure we can do the same with Isak.
Can I push back on one thing when it comes to the formation? Does the formation actually matter depending on what the instructions are from the manager? Because
yes, it does. It does, but it matters less when the manager's instructions aren't very good.
that's a different conversation. But like the fact that everyone's saying, "Oh, Ekitike can't play as a left winger, or he's better suited." Look, I've always said he's better suited as a striker because he allows him to drift out wide and have a lot of freedom to do what he does. But so, for example, Florian Wirtz, I've always said Florian Wirtz isn't a left winger. However, if you set certain instructions for him to do where he can sort of free roam around the pitch, do whatever, occupy certain areas of the pitch, and not play as a conventional left winger, then it's a different story because you're playing to his strengths depending on what you're asking of him. Do you think the fact that we say Ekitike can't play on the left as an out-and-out left winger could be a fact, but if you can actually give him certain instructions, you'll see him flourish?
Potentially. I mean, the only way I think the system works with those two starting is similar to what we did with Sterling, Sturridge, and Suarez. Because effectively, Sterling started as that formation was just weird with Brendan, but he mastered
Sterling was like the 10, wasn't he?
He was a 10, but he'd often drift out to the left, right? And then
Sturridge would drift to the right.
The problem is, I don't think either Isak or Ekitike would be drifting out to the right. So let's say we had a left-footed striker who liked to pick up channels on the right. Let's say it was Sturridge here. Then I think you'd be fine doing that formation. But I think because Wirtz, Ekitike, and Isak all favour drifting out to the left-hand side channel, I think that's where we'd be hindered. And because we don't have anyone on that right-hand side who I think will just dominate, I think that's where we could come unstuck. And that's why I don't know if we employ
look at Sian's comment. I agree with that.
Yeah, he's not an out-and-out number 9. There's no doubt about that. Here's my thing, yeah. It's about building the team and how we're going to build it for next season, yeah? If you're going to play both of them players, then you need a new striker because you need another one on the bench, right? So if they're thinking of playing Ekitike and Isak together next season, that is the idea, then we should be hearing rumours now about Liverpool in the market for another striker.
Can I play devil's advocate? Sorry, just on this point here, Jay. Could the argument not be, though, that some games will go 2 up top and other games will go 1 up top? So it might be more important to get a wide player as opposed to another striker.
Yeah, but then if one of them get injured, we only got one striker again.
Very true.
But not really, because the winger, the Ekitike who's seen as the winger / striker, just becomes a striker.
Yeah, but then we still got one striker, ain't we?
Yeah.
We don't because if no one here, everyone here understands that Ekitike can operate the 9. Whether he's an out-and-out 9 doesn't mean he can't operate the 9. He operates the 9.
I think Jay's saying if Isak or Ekitike are injured, who else can play a striker if one of those?
Oh, yeah, because it's about building for the squad, ain't it? That's what I'm trying to say. If you got a manager will have an idea of how he wants to play next season, yeah, with the players that he's got and the players that he can potentially buy. If you go out in the market and you go, if he's thinking, right, I'm going to play Ekitike and Isak next season because I have to play both of them because they're both too good. How am I going to set up? I'm not sure yet. But if I'm going to play them two, I'm going to need an extra striker, because I'm basing my system on that next season.
How would you guys feel if it was Jadon?
I still think we should get another winger, personally.
Look, for me, I'd get 2 wingers in the summer and just leave Ekitike and Isak to fight it out.
I'm with Joe. I'm with Joe on that. Do you know what?
That's what I mean. I'm with you. I said I'll get another. I think another winger again, but a multifunctional winger, which is why I said Semenyo wouldn't have been a bad option or still a good option because he can play on both sides. And again, the Diaz profile, who is able to. Again, Diaz was. We had this problem with RIP Diogo and Darwin. Both of them were injured. Diaz went and done the job. Credit to Slot. By the way, guys, hey guys, we do actually give credit to the manager at times. Credit to Slot.
We do.
He saw that Diaz could operate the false nine, similar to how Mane would operate the striker role in those last 6 months in a way. And that's if we can get a winger that can do that. We're not saying he has to flourish and go and get 30 goals, but he just has to occupy, stay busy, and be confident in the role enough to know that we can play him there if needed. That's why Diaz to me had so much value at the age of 27 or 28. It was so much value because to be able to play up front and on the left is, again, shout out Mantis. I know he's on the death row, but I might need these man relegated. I'm trying to see something.
Say it, Monts. Because when I say I get ridiculed for it.
My cousin.
It's not your cousin.
That's his cousin.
Do you know how shameless you gotta be to just say that with just straight face?
Straight face. No, like yo, that's
insane, Monts.
It is Monts.
What's insane?
You just randomly saying that Jared Bowen's your cousin.
You don't know my last name. I'm confused.
But Bowen is a very common last name.
No, it's not. Name me 5 Bowens. Name me 5.
We don't know.
Montel.
By the way, outside of me,
I don't know any Bowen, to be fair.
Hey, Jason, man, they're sitting there telling me it's a common name. You don't know no Bowens. How about this? I don't know more Bowens than me and Jared Bowen. How about that? Outside of my family members, of course.
I was asking for Jared Bowen about.
Did you just say outside our family? Our family? Did you just?
Sorry. Outside of my
family. Did you see how shameless this guy is?
Outside of my family and his family. Sorry, I didn't mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, listen. I don't know my dad, so it's all out. It's all out on the table, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's all out on the table. Nothing's guaranteed. So you get it. Understand? I'm trying to sign. Cool, my half cousin.
How's a half cousin? Come on.
Cool. Listen. Anyway, listen. If you need me to make the call, I'll make the call. The bottom line is that we need a winger striker, especially if we're gonna have 2 strikers who are 2 of the similar. Like this, like as I said, Bowen, winger striker. We've seen him do the job. I actually would have said, do you know who's a really good one? Brian Mbeumo. I think Mbeumo's all-round game has heavily been exposed by Amorim trying to play him in pockets. Like, never his game. He's not good enough. He's not a good enough footballer. Like, he's not like Cunha. He's not like Cunha to play in those pockets, obviously. But Mbeumo is someone who can play on the right wing and he can go as the striker and just be on the end of things and whatnot. Do you know what I'm saying? So, or just buy Diaz again. But yeah, it's one of them. Can't do that, obviously. But we need that winger, striker type of player.
I hear it. I'm going to share my screen and just rotate between two screens here. So currently this is our winger situation, right? It is Salah on the right.
Change Gakpo to Rio. Change Gakpo to Rio, please.
No. I'm going to show you. On the other screen.
All right, Slot. Okay.
Chiesa and Rio are effectively the quote-unquote backup wingers, but we barely see them anyway. Now, obviously, the Diomande links are extremely strong, but there's also links to other wingers as well. If I was to say to you guys right now, the current setup is this, how many wingers would you release from Liverpool?
Chiesa's gone anyways, so...
All right, so that's one.
He's gone.
That's it.
If Gakpo goes, which I don't think he will.
No. We're not asking what we think would happen.
All of them.
We're asking what you would do.
All of them.
See, now the problem is how Gakpo's being protected by.
No. Forget about Gakpo.
No. I'm not talking about the manager. I'm saying that Salah's old and Rio's too young. So Gakpo's in a position where, whether y'all don't like me, whether y'all like me or not, I'm the only one here that's got age on their side. And you know what I'm saying? Like, Salah's old and Rio's 17. Like, if you actually strip and Chiesa, the club don't want Chiesa there. He's a club signing. You know, Gakpo's the only normal winger at the club. Forget ability. He's the only normal winger at the club. No, it doesn't sound nice. It doesn't sound nice, does it? He's the only winger at the club.
All right, but you said Chiesa's a club signing. If Slot were to go in the summer, then does Chiesa get another chance?
No.
Under a new manager?
No.
It's not that good.
No, he doesn't.
Unless we get a good offer.
He's going back to Italy. He's going back to Italy, Cal. And that that leaves us with a 34-year-old, a 34-year-old, and a 17-year-old. We have one winger, and we have one winger. And you're telling me which one would I get? We have one winger, Cal.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you all the question then. Because, Jay, you said all of them, but I'm guessing you'd loan Rio out as opposed to sell him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
I didn't hear what you said. But, yeah, with Mo...
Big up some in the chat.
I let Mo go at the end of the season. I think we got to let Mo go at the end of the season. We need a reset, yeah? We need a reset in our wide areas. Cody Gakpo will stay for me. Salah will go and Chiesa will go. If we're going to get Diomande, he can play left and right, can't he?
Yeah.
I don't think Cody Gakpo's going anywhere. So I think Cody Gakpo and Rio is your left-hand side. And they buy Diomande to play on the right in Salah's replacement.
Oh. So we're going to the season with 3 wingers, one of which is 17.
I think they buy another one as well. I just don't know who that winger is because I'm not quite sure we've been linked with. But say we've been heavily linked with this Diomande kid. Everyone, apparently we really like him. Apparently we've been linked with some guy from Brazil as well. I'm not sure who he is, but again, I don't know where. I don't see Cody Gakpo going. You know, I really don't. He's on big wages, big contract. You know, where's he going to go? I thought Bayern Munich at first, but then Bayern Munich has just gave Thingy a new contract, ain't they? So I don't see him going there now.
Who are they giving you contract?
No, the winger. What's his name? The old Arsenal player.
Well, Gnabry.
Yeah, I think they gave him a new contract, didn't they?
Gnabry's got a new contract.
Yeah, but I don't think they class Gnabry as a winger like that.
He's more kind of their Luis Diaz.
Is he? Oh, fair enough.
He's become like a 10 to them now, to an extent like Yildiz. Yildiz was a winger that he got
signed a new deal. Shout out to Kathy. Yildiz signed a new deal as well.
Yeah, so Yildiz and Gnabry is 10 back up. Fair enough. Maybe Gakpo goes to Bayern Munich.
I don't know if he does though. Because where does he play for Bayern Munich?
Oh, he plays for Bayern Munich. He probably scores about 50 goals in Germany.
I don't think he starts under Diaz for Bayern Munich.
I don't think Liverpool will get rid of 2 experienced wingers in one window.
Me neither.
I don't see Gakpo and Salah both leaving in one window.
So let's say Salah, Chiesa leave. I still don't think we can rely on Rio just yet, even though I'd like it to see him get more chances. Would it not be better to get an Elise type and then, as Mont said, a Bowen type or even like a Harry Wilson type who would come in and be the supporting cast to...
Mate, well, maybe Mont was right. Maybe he's thinking about playing Ekatike off the left and only buying one winger and then buy another striker.
He still leaves us short for the right-hand side because Gakpo can't be the right wing and neither
Harry
can Rio.
Wilson on a free.
That's what I'm saying. If it's Elise and Harry Wilson, for me, that makes all the sense in the world.
I don't think we're buying Elise.
Have I done
I think we buy Elise.
No, we're not buying Elise, man. He's going to cost about 120 million. I don't think we're buying Elise.
Have I done something to you again, Jay? Or?
I can see us buying someone like a Diomande or someone like that. That's what they want.
If Diomande comes in to replace Salah, I think that's asking so much of him at 19 years old.
It should have been Semenyo, but some people didn't want to hear it.
And then Sutton, but if we get Diomande, Salah,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was quality.
That wasn't even a sub one. That was just a pure.
That was literally an RKO out of nowhere. I'm not gonna lie.
I say if we get Diomande, Salah, if that was me, Salah's not leaving.
Well, maybe you keep Salah, Gakpo leaves, you buy Diomande.
But I wouldn't actually sell anyone.
But my worry is, this is my worry. I don't know what I don't know what the boffins that Liverpool are thinking. I don't know what Arne Slot's thinking. I don't know what Richard Hughes is thinking. Because if they believe Rio is this guy, if they believe Rio is the boy, he's going to be the guy, right? Why would you then go and buy a footballer who's only 18 months older than him that plays in the same position?
That's what my thing is.
That don't make no sense.
Right, so call me crazy here, guys. The reason why I think Elise and Harry Wilson or Elise and Bone works is because we have a player coming through the academy in Joshua Abe, who we need to find a way of keeping him. We're going to speak on that situation shortly. There has to be a pathway for him if he's going to be looking to stay. But in the same way, there has to be a pathway for Rio as well. The pathway for Rio is only going to happen if Slot's not here, it seems. But Slot seems like he's going to be here. Are we going to be in a situation where we're going to start losing our academy prospects, like your Rios, like your Trainionis, like your Joshua Abes, because we have a manager who'd rather buy a young player than give a young player a chance to develop a little?
But you see the whole Jan Diomande thing. How old is he?
He's 19.
This is what we were saying, yeah.
So a man is trying to have a 17 and a 19-year-old winger, but want to get rid of Gakpo. Because realistically, you want to get rid of Gakpo, even though he's the club's only actual normal winger. When I say normal winger, I'm not talking about a bit.
Yeah, in terms of we should be in his peak years now.
Yeah, I'm talking about a winger above the age of 23, but under the age of 30. That is just, that's not either right at the end of their contract or not right at the beginning. Just a normal player, by the way, just a normal player. We only have one. So as I said, I understand Diomande has he's multifunctional, but what are we on the whole 18 and 17 and 19-year-old wingers thing? Is that what you lot want?
No, I'm not.
Well, because the other wing is 34, 33 going 34.
That's
what he'll be 34 going into next season.
I'd rather if we're gonna go out and get a Diomande, I'm sorry, Salah has to stay. I'm not trusting I'm not putting all that pressure on Diomande to be the Salah replacement.
All right, well, the question then becomes, would you rather spend 70 million on Diomande or 110 on Elise?
Well, 110 on Elise. But here's the thing, guys.
I'm not trying to spend 70 million on Diomande, full stop.
That is the elephant in the room, guys. Liverpool are not buying another right winger if Mo Salah stays at our football club.
Yeah, I hear what
unless the kid.
Yeah, but he still needs to play, though. That's the thing.
I hear that.
If Diomande comes to Liverpool, yeah, he needs to play because he's been playing for his football club. He's ready, even if he's young. So he'd have to come in and play. I don't see Mo Salah sitting on bench. So if Salah stays, we ain't buying a right winger. We got Gakpo and young Rio on the left-hand side. Again, I keep saying it with Rio. I think Richard Hughes. Well, I think one of the problems on our left-hand side is that Richard Hughes thought Rio was ready, and that's why we never went and bought a replacement. Right? Arne Slot doesn't believe Rio's ready. Does Arne Slot believe Rio's ready next season? Why are we being linked to wingers who are only 18 months older than Rio?
But
it makes no sense.
Am I not right in saying that Hughes wanted Semenyo, but Slot didn't really want Semenyo?
That was the apparent rumour. Yeah, that was the apparent rumour.
So the winger situation, look, don't get me wrong, the centre-back situation with Konate's contract still being up in the air and us still needing another one. The midfield situation, again, the winger situation might be the area in the squad where it needs the most surgery this summer.
I'm telling you,
it is because sorry, Jamie, go on.
So I've been saying it for a long time now. I believe Liverpool will buy Morgan Rogers.
He's not a winger.
Yeah, I don't think that solves our issue.
Not a winger.
But
now we've got two guys that are best in the 10 and two strikers that play the same position. We got now we have the same conundrum in a different position.
Because I think buying these wingers are going to be a 2-year thing. I think it's going to be a 2-year thing. So if if you go buy a Morgan Rogers and you go buy a Diomande, and you keep in Rio and you keep in Gakpo, and then a year after that, Gakpo goes, you buy another winger, and then Rio's definitely ready. I think that's how Liverpool go look at it.
I just think this is gonna keep happening. And there's gonna be mass change in that front line every 2 seasons. You got rid of 2 players, lost a third player, unfortunately. And that is a lot of change for one front line. Now, realistically, the changes that everyone wants to make, I'm pretty sure everyone wants Gakpo to go if they could. Not everyone, but a lot of the fan base are on Gakpo at the moment and wouldn't be upset if they saw the back of his shirt going to another club regarding bringing someone new, and whoever that is, by the way, whoever his replacement would be. Yeah, but we can't also underestimate the fact that, again, that leaves us with no long-term wingers. That's why Gakpo and his agent are in the best position. They're in the driver's seat, not us. And if we are in the driver's seat, we find ourselves in a position where we're going to look at it and go, if things go wrong or things don't go as how we want it to go, second year in a row, we've had to change 3 players in the attacking lineup.
So I don't know if you've seen the breaking news. Apparently, Liverpool are close to agreeing a deal with Palmeiras midfielder Alan Elias. Where does he play?
He plays in centre midfield, but can also play right wing if I'm not mistaken as well.
There you go. See, guys in the chat, I don't want this. If this is up to me, I'd literally buy a number 6 and 3 wingers in the summer, right? If it was up to me.
And he's 21. I just checked his age. He's 21.
Yeah, I would literally go and buy 3 wingers and a number 6, right? If it was up to me, I don't know how Liverpool are looking at it. By the look of it, Liverpool are looking to buy versatile footballers, which tells me they don't know if they're going to get rid of a Gakpo and a Salah in the same season.
So we don't know if the manager's going to be. So, okay, let me get this straight. We don't know if the manager's going to be here next year. Yeah. No. We don't know if Salah's going to be here next year, which is fine because he's that one's more obviously a realistic thing because of his age. The Gakpo thing, no one's really happy about Gakpo's stance at the club, how much money he's on, how he's performing, and just the overall Gakpo situation. Not a lot of people are happy with that. We have 2 strikers that play the same position, and we're trying to figure out as a fan base how that's going to work. And it looks like the club and the manager haven't figured that out either, even though it was their job and the hierarchy to bring them both in the first place. And then the only thing you have behind that is a 17-year-old, and the other guy is a club signing that the manager doesn't like. So whether he stays or goes is probably up in the air as well. Probably 7%, 70% he goes, 30% he stays. So there is no certainty with all aspects of anything we have going forward. And that's not even to mention the centre-back issue with Konate and McAllister's contract that his dad's waiting on.
Well,
and Alisson, which will be a talking point next year.
Are we on the assumption that Salah and Chiesa will probably leave in the summer?
Call me crazy.
Yeah,
I think it depends who the manager is in the summer. If it's Slot who's here, then yes, they're both gone.
So
someone else, I don't know.
If Gakpo and Rio stays, they're going to stay our 2 number 1 left wingers. I can't see the point of buying another left winger if Gakpo and Rio are staying. So
unless
then
Rio goes out on loan.
And that's why I'm saying I can see the club buying someone like Morgan Rogers, who is versatile, can play in the 10 and can play in the wing when needed. Do you know what I mean? I don't want us to do that, but do you know what I'm saying? I can see the club looking at that as a possibility.
We just need, like, again, we had Salah. What were the wingers we had last season? Salah, Diaz, Chiesa. And was that it? And Gakpo. So Salah, Diaz, and Chiesa was in his first season. Salah obviously 32. Diaz, and then you can just kind of say Diaz and Gakpo were like the normal prime in their prime.
But Diaz did play a lot of his minutes through the centre.
Yeah, of course. And and Elliot. Yeah, and you could say Elliot as well. Let's throw Elliot in there. So, and Rio. And Rio. Rio was there last season. What am I talking about? And Rio.
No, Rio didn't do anything. Rio was in the
Yeah, but he played in the FA Cup. He played against Plymouth.
No, he played against.
No, he did play.
Was it Plymouth? Rio played the game last season, no?
Played against Preston.
Preston, sorry, Plymouth.
Did he play against Preston? I thought he played against Shrewsbury.
But Rio had minutes. I'm not saying he was part of the first team, but you know what I'm saying. He got his promotion to the first team this season, but you know what I mean. So, but you know what I mean when I say like, yes, the options weren't crazy, but we had 6 options. We had Elliott, Salah, Chiesa, Gakpo, Diaz, and at worst, you had the youngster in Rio. That's 6 options.
I think there's something we're not really speaking about that we need to speak about. If Rio doesn't start playing games, then the football club will look to move him on and get another left winger in. Because the problem is,
who's that based on? That's based on the manager, though.
Yeah, but the problem is, if they see Slot as a guy and he's here next season, is Rio going to get much more game time next season compared to what he's got this season? And Liverpool ain't going to wait around too long for Rio to finally develop for them not going to the transfer market and buy another winger. If Slot's here next year and Liverpool want this Diomande, they want him to play on the left-hand side and not the right-hand side, and he's only 18 months older than Rio, then Rio's going on loan. You know what I mean? It's weird. I don't get it. I think we need to see Rio play more games of football so we know we've got a secure left winger there for the future, for the next 5 to 10 years. And we don't need to worry about all these left wingers that we're bringing in, and he's the future. And then Gakpo's number 2. And then you just sort the right-hand side out. But at the moment, we're in the unknown because our managers don't play these players.
Yeah.
The manager don't play them. So a lot of people rate Rio, and he is a good player. But our manager at this moment don't rate him like we do. So he ain't playing him. And if you don't do it again next season, we're going to have the same discussion halfway through next season. We never bought another. We never still ain't replaced Diaz. So what are we doing? This is all it's crazy.
So let's say, for example, we did bring in Diomande and we loaned out Rio with the notion that Gakpo stays a year, but we're going to move him on the following year, and then Rio comes back, and then it's Diomande and Rio vying for that position. Could that work?
Well, yeah, they're 2 young left wingers. Then you can let them cook, do their thing. But because they're 2 young left wingers, you want one of them to be the main starter week in, week out, and then who's going to be the? I find it weird. I find it weird that we're linked with Diomande when we got Rio at the football club. I find it a bit strange.
Yeah.
I find it a bit strange. I don't get it. I don't know. Do the club rate Rio like we all think they do then?
Yeah, this is a conundrum, man. It's a conundrum. Guys, let us know in the comment section what you think we should be doing. Yeah, big up, Mons. Appreciate you, bro. Just want to round off with this whole Szoboszlai. Have you guys seen the image of Szoboszlai and Kirkes sitting on the Salah couch, the same Salah couch video that Trent had before he announced that he's going to Real Madrid?
Yeah.
Obviously, Szoboszlai hasn't signed a new deal yet.
You're looking too much into this, Carl.
And I'm just reporting the rumors and stuff that's going around.
You're being a little bit paranoid right now, bro.
I mean, and Mac haven't signed new deals. They're going into the last 2 years. I don't think the club want a situation going into last year.
Mac can leave. But
do you think Mac will actually leave, though?
Out of all the midfielders we got, I think Curtis Jones will leave the most.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
And I don't want Curtis to leave.
No, me neither. I don't think anyone does.
I think we've forgotten that Curtis needs a new contract, and I think he's only got a year left after next season.
This is what I'm saying.
And it's going completely under the radar, the Curtis stuff.
So Curtis is going into 1 year, and then you've also got Mac, Grav, and Sobo, who are going into their last 2 years.
Szoboszlai right now, out of all the midfielders we got, should get the contract.
Yeah, of course he should, but there is no talk of any of that.
Yeah, I've said this. If Szoboszlai wants 300 grand a week, just give it to him, man.
So are we gonna just quickly, because obviously I'm gonna shoot in a sec. Obviously, I don't really mind if Matt goes in it. I'm with Jamie. I don't mind.
Yeah, same.
What I would say is that though, are we gonna could you play devil's advocate and go, so what, one bad season and we're saying man can just cut? So if Szobo has a bad season next year, like Mac this year, were you saying he can cut?
I don't think Mac was good last season either.
I'm not saying it off the
Mac
back
was
of
good
a bad
last season.
season.
No, Mac got good. Mac got good in February last season, yeah? We're in February now, and McAllister's starting to get good again. The year before that, he got good in February.
I hear what you're saying. I'm just talking about I'm just asking the question.
I'm going from an age thing. He's going to be 28 at the end of this year. He's going to be our oldest midfielder. Yeah, McAllister will be 28 in Christmas Eve.
28-year-old
midfielders. No, but what I'm saying is,
with the amount of football he's played, though, Mons.
The amount of football that he's played, everyone keeps talking to me about with McAllister all the time. You hear it, Mons. Fatigue, yeah? He's going to go into a World Cup, yeah? He's probably going to play well in that World Cup with Argentina and probably go quite far in that World Cup. Come back, we have no pre-season, starts off slow again. Are Liverpool looking at McAllister and going, right, we're going to give him a contract of 200 grand a week, going to be 28 in the next few years, but fatigue's an issue with him? Or do you look at McAllister thinking he's the one we can let go and get a good hefty chunk of money for?
I think, and
give the others new deals.
I think that
I don't know.
I just think all I'm saying is that, again, some argue his legs are gone, others argue his legs aren't gone. It's fatigue, and that he needs a proper break.
Exactly.
And then
This is what I'm trying to say.
As I said, there's an argument for both. What I'd say is that, is this kind of the precedent we set for players, though? If it looks like they're if it looks like they're fatigued and they're not performing the way they should perform, and we just kind of getting rid of them after 1 year, because I'd make the argument that McAllister's been one of the most consistent players for us since he signed.
I don't know. I've never liked.
He's had more good seasons he's had more good seasons, or the same amount of good seasons as the one we're hailing as the best player in our team right now. So
no, nowhere close.
That's in my opinion. That's in my opinion. But I also think that now, if Szoboszlai was to get tired, because he plays a tremendous amount of football, he plays a lot of different positions, and I feel like eventually there's going to be a time where we have to manage his engine. If it looks like his legs start to slow down, do we have that same energy and we go, right?
Well, in 2 years' time, if that's the case, then yeah.
I was going to say.
Yeah, we have to have a conversation.
That's the question I wanted to ask. It's not a dig at someone. It's a dig. I'm saying that, are we going to kind of carry on that sort of wavelength?
We'll have to have that conversation at some point.
Have that conversation when it happens, because what is the boss, like 2 years younger and Mac or something like that, 18 months younger? You know, it depends. If Szoboszlai gets to 27, 28 and he looks like his legs are like on its way because of the amount of games he's played and we're worried about it, then yeah, we'll have that conversation. I'm all right with that. But right now,
it feels a bit Chelsea-like, but I hear what you're saying.
Right now, look, Liverpool have to keep freshening up their midfield, if you ask me, because under Slot and under Klopp, they want their midfield to be the workhorse of their team. So our midfield needs to keep being freshened up. That's something I think we could all agree. In the last 10 years, we haven't freshened up our midfield enough.
Yeah.
And it's usually in bulk or no.
Yeah, and we've kept the guys here for too long. So we need to keep them fresh. So
it's scary, Max, Max, you said Max turned in 28, but that's cheeky. He just turned 27.
He's 28. It's 28 on Christmas Eve, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, you give him a new contract. Yeah, but I'm not. Look, I'm doing this as a Richard Hughes position. Yeah, they will look at him going into his 28th year, giving him a brand new contract, right, of like 4 years, right, 200 odd grand a week. Will they look at that and look at everything in a whole and go, we'd rather give Gravenberch and Szoboszlai a bit younger?
He just
seem to play more minutes, give them the contracts, move McAllister on, get someone in who's 24, 25, can do what McAllister does to Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for
it's just he hasn't helped himself with the legs going. If McAllister was performing how he performed last season, later on, or even in the season before that, you think anyone's sitting there questioning giving him a contract? We're saying, yeah, cool. If there's risk, give him a 3 year.
I did.
That's fine. But I'm saying, but the general opinion would be, I'm pretty sure Cal would sit there saying, don't mind if you give him a 3 year.
No, at the end of last season, 100%, I'd been like, you're giving a new contract, 100%.
I just look at I just look at
I just think
McAllister.
this. Hold on, let me finish. I've got to finish cut in a second. All I'm saying is, Jamie, bro, is that under this manager, a lot of the players are underperforming to their actual ability. Mac's situation looks like his legs are actually gone, rather than it being like a
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's nothing about him as a player.
But as I said, there still could be that possibility that the manager, you know what I'm saying, it could have a thing, or maybe how McAllister's playing it. It's a shit situation. We're shit, and I'm gonna go laugh at Arsenal for an hour and never a foul. So big up, guys.
It is a weird thing with McAllister because it's not actually his talent. You know, his talent is there. For me, with McAllister, it's just his physical mobility. His mobility. Yeah. That's my thing with Mac, not his physical talent. As a footballer, he's got great physical talent, but he just doesn't seem to have the athleticism and mobility to go with it right now, for whatever reason that is. And what I'm just saying is that everyone keeps telling me about McAllister that it's fatigue. That's the thing I hear all the time. He's going into his 28th year when he's going to a World Cup. Is fatigue going to be the issue again next season?
That's what I'm
saying.
So
are we going to be sitting here next season, this exactly the same time in February 2027, talking about McAllister again and fatigue, and everyone bringing up the fatigue thing? Now he's 28 and he's got his new contract. So are we going to have these same conversations? So what is it? It's not a thing to do with McAllister's talent. He's always going to have that talent. He could be 60 and have great talent. Yeah. It's his mobility and athleticism that worries most of the fan base.
So obviously we don't know what's going on with Szoboszlai's contract. Josh Abe, only 15 years old, but he's signed with Trent's brother's agency, and
that's him gone then.
But their team sniffing around. Do we as a team need to change our contract policies? Because if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we go more than around $1,000 a week for a player of Abe's age.
Rightly so.
And then we also got Szoboszlai situation where we're going, you know, he wants 300K is the rumor, and we're like, we don't really want to do that. Do we have to change with the times? Do we have to change with the market that's going on? Otherwise, we are just going to be in a situation where we start losing players like that. And I know you say rightly so, Jay, but if I'm Josh Abe, or I'm managing Josh Abe, and you can see the talent is there, and he's on 1K a week, but he can go to Man City and get 5K a week, but there's also just as much chance as him getting through City's academy as there is at Liverpool's academy, considering slots here, then do you not do that? Do you not go Man City?
No. If a 15-year-old is making 52 grand a year, and we're saying he should be on more, there's just chuck football in the bin, man.
No, but you're missing the point, Jay. It's the market. If he can, it's not just about what we.
I don't think City pay people wages like a lot of people think they do.
But they'll pay more than we will.
Not for a 15-year-old, they won't.
Well, we're paying more than what Chelsea would for Rio.
That's
what City are trying to do with Josh Abe is exactly what we've done with Rio.
I don't think City will give him as much money as everyone thinks they will.
He will just give more money than what Liverpool will, though. That's the point.
I think there's a cap on kids anyway, that you can only go for a certain amount anyway, no matter where they play. So because they've not signed a professional contract yet. You don't sign a professional contract till you're like 17, do you? So
I was 16.
Yeah, so there is a cap on how much I believe how much a youth player can get paid. I'm not sure if that's completely true, or they got rid of that cap now. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know nothing about him really. To be fair, I don't watch a lot of the, under 16s and all that.
Well, he turned 16 in July.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. To be fair, I really don't. He could be great. He could be overhyped. He could be underhyped. I don't know.
At his age, at 15, he's one of the brightest talents in football right now.
If he's getting $1,000 a week and that's not enough for him, then leave him. Let him go.
But it's not
I'm not here for money-orientated kids, man. They can leave, man.
It's not money-orientated, Jay. We sit there in any walk of life, Jay. If you're given the same opportunity at two different places, but one's paying you more, why wouldn't you want to one that pays you more?
If he wants to go and get $5,000 a week at 15 years old, go. Money's more to him than his football progress. good for him, man.
No, but we can't
It's
say
not-
it's the same. We can't say it's football progress because
I'll get rid of him today. I'll drive him for him if he wants
no,
to
but
cash.
we can't say because
let him go,
football
man.
progress. City are promoting their academy graduates. We're not
really.
promoting at a high rate.
They've only promoted Foden.
O'Reilly,
Lane,
Foden,
O'Reilly and Foden are the only ones that have really stayed. They've sold all the others.
Rico Lewis,
Rico Lewis.
Yeah, he's getting
Even-
sold.
Yeah,
Palmer
because he wasn't
came
good
to
enough.
the
Palmer
academy
got sold. Palmer got
But-
sold.
because they wanted to leave. My point is, Jay, we're not even bringing players through the academy like that.
We brought as many players through the academy as City have.
Heck, City have given chances to players that I
Oscar
don't think
Bob,
are really good. Oscar Bob is really good talent. Max Delaney, who wasn't, I don't think is a great talent, but he's been given a
Yeah,
chance.
and they're all leaving. This is what I'm trying to say. They're not staying at City.
No, but that's not the point. We're saying they get given the chance, even though we don't think they're good enough.
What? But they still leave, so they're not doing anything, which means they're not good enough. You know, they could get all the chances they want. They're not at Man City anymore, so that means they're not good enough. So they left.
But it goes back to the point.
If a 15 or 16-year-old wants more money than trying to play football, let him leave. I don't care how good he
But
is.
that's the point. He's gonna be playing football. It's gonna be the same thing at Man City, regardless. He will probably have a chance to play, similar to what it is at Liverpool. Like he'll probably get a chance to play in the FA Cup or the League Cup or whatever. You know,
Yeah,
that's the thing. I don't think he's
let
going to
him
go
leave,
for the
man.
money. I don't think he's going to go for the money.
Let him leave, man. Let him leave, man. Let him go to Man City, and then I don't know. Let him go to Wolves in 7 years' time when he don't work out. Let him do what he wants, man. We'll come to his back in 7 years' time when he's at Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Why don't we label Trey and Rio as money grabbers, considering they would have left Chelsea and I think
Leicester.
Trey was at Leicester and got more, they'd be getting more money than what they were getting there. And Rio signed a new deal since he's been here, hasn't he?
Yeah, but Rio and Trey are part of the first team squad now. So,
no, but they're still effectively academy players because they barely play.
Yeah,
they
but
played more academy minutes than they played Premier League minutes.
Yeah, but their wage Rio's on £1,000 a week, and
Rio's are more than that. I'm almost
Rio's
certain.
on £1,000 a week because we cap it.
No, Rio signed a new deal if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's £1,000 a week. Rio's on £1,000 a week. We cap it.
So when does he sign? So will he sign his new contract this year then?
That's what I'm saying. Rio's on £1,000 a week. We cap it. People might not know that. So Trey's not earning what people think he's earning. We cap our wages for youngsters so they don't get ahead of themselves. Remember, our youth system is about guys developing their football talent, not about money. That's why we cap their wages.
So Rio just signed a new contract in September 25.
He's on £1,000 a week.
It's not verified, but it's not £1,000.
Yeah, it's on £1,000 a week. I know he is. He's on £1,000 a week. We cap it till they're 18. So once Rio turns 18, his contract goes up. At this moment in time, he's on £1,000 a week.
We speaking about the money though. It's also about opportunities and development. With Arne Slot here, Rio hasn't developed, neither is Trey, and the opportunities are not there for them. And no matter how bad the situation's got, one thing I will say about City, when injuries happen at City, their players are given chances. When Liverpool had Klopp and we had injuries, players were given chances. Slot's not doing that. So if I'm Trey, and there's even a rumor floating around now that Trey might want to run out in the summer if Slot stays. If I'm Trey, if I'm Rio, if I'm Nalo and all these players, and I know Nalo isn't seen in the same light as those guys, but if I'm one of those players, I can't look at it and go, my pathway to the team. Doak was sold. Elliott was treated like crap. Bobby Clark gone. McConnell we ain't seen. Bichetti we don't know if we're going to see. Jaden Dans we don't know if we're going to see.
Tyler Morton got sold.
Tyler Morton got sold without a chance. How can we sit there and sell a project to Josh Abe or Rio or Trey and go, yeah, you're good here, when Slot's showing the complete opposite?
Maybe the hard truth is that no one wants to talk about that.
So
they're not
Kwanzaa gone as well.
Yeah, Kwanzaa went on his own accord. Liverpool didn't want to see him, did they? I think maybe these players are just not good enough.
Tyler's saying otherwise.
Yeah, Tyler's doing it in France, yeah, but he's never done it in England, even under Jurgen. Right. This is the thing I will say, yeah. I think as a fan base, we overhype our youngsters, yeah. Right. Everyone puts Rio, there was a super chat I was on the channel the other day saying Rio's our Yamal. Do you know, it's ridiculous, right?
Yeah. Sam's
putting Trey, people put Trey in this like he's going to be this guy. How do we know, man? How do we know? Like, they might not be good enough.
How do we know unless they get a chance, Jay? That's the point.
Because Trey is not better than any of our midfielders. He just isn't.
So apparently Trey and Rio are both on 25k a week.
No, they're not.
But it's not verified. That's the problem.
They're on $1,000 a week, man.
No, I know.
What are we doing here? So you guys think that Rio and Trey are on more than Curtis Jones after coming through the academy, yeah?
Curtis ain't signed a new deal. That's the point, Jay.
Yeah, but Curtis got 15 grand. Yeah, all of a sudden, Trey, who doesn't play, gets 25.
Again, I'm just saying.
Again, makes sense. When he signed that contract, it was in 21, wasn't it? It was about 5 years ago or 4 years ago.
Yes. Oh my God, people believe what? If Trey's on 25 grand a week and he's not playing, sell him tomorrow. What we fucking doing now? Sell him tomorrow. If he's literally on 25 grand a week and he doesn't play and he's never going to play for Liverpool, sell him in the summer, get a lot of money for him, move him on. What are we doing? Come on. Jesus Christ.
I don't understand what is going on at Liverpool at the moment.
It's just absolutely crazy.
But they're not getting a chance, Jay. That's the problem.
Not getting a chance because maybe they're not good enough. Look, we don't watch them in training every week, every single day. We are not privy to what goes on behind the scenes. Like, they might just not be good enough, guys, at the end of the day.
But we've also seen Rio this season. If that's the case, then why does Gakpo get so many chances then when we know he's not good enough then? Because
he probably does things that Slot wants him to do that Rio can't on the pitch, and that's why he plays.
I think this manager is killing the hopes of these prospects. And if in the longer he stays, I do fear we're going to start losing these players, and we're going to sit there in 10 years' time and go, bloody hell, that Josh Abe or Rio and Trey, they're killing it at the moment.
We just don't want it to be another Chelsea situation where they had like De Bruyne and Salah and they let them go, and they're like, well, we could have done with those two players. We could have had a dynasty. But kind of stuff.
The thing is, Mourinho was in charge at the time, and as Mourinho said, the players he had in front of him at the time were better at that moment in time.
No,
so let them go.
That's true.
Yeah.
Can we sit there and literally go, Gakpo is light years ahead of Rio?
For what Slot wants him to do, it could be true. I'm not saying he is as a footballer, but what Slot wants, the way Slot wants Cody to play, he probably believes Rio can't do that in the team at the moment, so he doesn't play. Because we're not, the way we play when we sit back and, Cody's happily going back and defending and stuff like that. No one wants to see Rio do that at 17. We want to see him play on the front foot, attacking, going at fullbacks, yeah? So you wouldn't put Rio in that situation, so you play Cody still. So, that's why Rio probably isn't playing. It's not about his technical ability as a footballer. It's more of you don't want to see Rio playing to what Cody does, so...
I hate so the thing I have with Rio, I'm not sitting there advocating that he should be playing and starting over Cody every game. I'm just saying throughout points this season, there could have been way more times where he was utilized more.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I know you do, but I'm saying more to the audience. And I think that's how you build up the match fitness, the sharpness, the physicality of the player. Because if he's not playing first team football, but he's on the bench, and then he's barely playing academy football, he's effectively not playing football.
And here's my thing as well. And I said this earlier in the show. Why are Liverpool looking at a young winger who's 18 months older than Rio if Rio's about this life?
Well, you talk about Diomande, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Diomande at a younger age, his age, 17, 18, probably been playing more first team minutes than Rio.
Could you argue that would be the future? Like him and Diomande, Rio on the left, Diomande on the right?
if they do that, if they don't, and they're both left-sided, and they don't think he's a right-sided winger, then I don't know. Look, the Trey stuff. I think Rio's good enough to start. I really do. I just don't think Trey is. I think Trey has too much in his way. He ain't better than any of our midfielders, and the problem is, if he is on 25 grand a week, like someone said in the chat, which I don't believe, but if he is on 25 grand a week, you got to send him in the summer.
Saying he might be on 8 grand a week as well. So obviously,
even at 8 grand,
none of it's verified. That's the problem.
Even at 8 grand a week, I swear our football. I swear I read something that we cap youth players at £1,000 a week.
We do, but I don't think Trey qualifies as a youth team player anymore because he's 18.
No,
I think
he's 18.
It depends on the contract that they have. It depends on when they sign the contract as well.
Yeah,
that's the thing. We just don't know. Because I know Rio signed an academy contract when he first signed with us. Then he signed a new updated contract this season for us. So
yeah,
maybe, but I just think that it's just the guy. We just don't know whether these guys will be of the level, and that's the thing. If and this is probably the perfect opportunity. The fact that players that are playing in the first team aren't playing at the level, and we're currently in a situation where we're lingering around top 4, top 5. We're severely not hitting our targets in terms of being challenging for the league title. This is probably the best time to play those players.
And I agree. Look, let's go through the youth players, yeah? So when we bought Harvey Elliott, he wasn't a youth player at Liverpool, he was a youth player at Fulham, but he was 16 years of age, yeah?
Yeah.
Arne Slot believed he was good enough to play straight away. No, sorry, Jurgen Klopp believed he was good enough to play straight away, right? And he played him. Jurgen Klopp also had Trey at a similar age, and Jurgen didn't throw him in.
He was 16 when he made his debut.
Yeah. But Jurgen didn't throw him in like he threw Harvey Elliott in because
he didn't. Remember, Harvey went on loan as well, Joe.
Yeah, but he believed Harvey was a better footballer, right? So Harvey,
but Harvey still went on loan, though, Jay.
And this is my thing. Trey, as far as I'm aware, Trey's never gone on loan.
No, but Klopp's not here now.
So Trey needs to go on loan, man. Trey needs to go on loan. Like, obviously, everyone knows the Trent story. Jurgen saw Trent in the youth setup very young.
Everyone saw it.
And said, I need him in my team, but he needs to be a right back. When Klein got injured, he got his opportunity to play and went in right back because he was special. Mike Lumming coming through was special. Steven Gerrard coming through was special. They're like special talents that come through a youth team and can't be denied, and they have to play. Apart from Rio, is anyone that special?
Honestly, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I think Trey has the potential to be special.
How old's Trey now? 19?
18, I think.
Jay, could you argue?
I think it's hard for Trey, though.
Could you argue, like, even you going through the likes of Owen and Gerrard and Stevie, right? Like, give an example of, like, another one. Dominic Matteo was another one that was part of that group. He was given a chance, and then we realized that he's just not the player to sort of start for a potential title-winning team. But he got given the chance. That's how we knew he was on the level.
Who got given a chance?
Dominic Matteo.
Yeah, but Liverpool back then when Dominic Matteo was coming through was a different Liverpool. Yeah, that was a different Liverpool.
Well, we had aspirations of challenging. That's the thing.
Yeah, but Liverpool always have.
I think he was with was he part of the Owen clan or was he part of the Fowler clan? I'm not entirely sure.
He's kind of in between both.
Yeah, he's in between both. They're all the same youth setup. So what Liverpool tried to do. So Man United obviously had that special youth team that came through in '92 because all the players were special. Ferguson could see that they were better than everything they had, so he put them through. Liverpool went then in 94 to 96 had their bulk of their special youth talent coming through as well, and brought them through. I look at Trey. My thing with Trey, I feel for Trey because I think as a youth player as a midfielder must be the hardest position to come through as. Because you're competing with so much talent in that midfield area. Yeah. Most midfields now are played with a midfield three, ain't they? And then you got your first choice midfield three, and then a manager would usually like a good second choice midfield three, and then you got your youth players. And so I feel for Trey for that opinion, because Liverpool in a position now, if they sell a McAllister or someone like that, they go and buy a ready-made replacement, because they try and compete for every single trophy. So it's going to be harder for Trey to make his way into that midfield. So I feel for Trey. I think it's going to be difficult for him. But for me, there's no excuse why Rio should be playing, because he's only got one player in his way. You know, Trey's got a multiple of players in his way. Rio's got one player in his way. So I think there's less excuse for Rio. I can understand the excuse that Trey don't get games.
I hear it. Right, let's see up these supers. Akira says, Arsenal what? Arsenal who? Arsenal blood clot. No. Yeah, it's not looking good for them over there in North London. Aquia says, we won the league last season. They won second place. We have a right to talk. Fairs. Dr. Blick says, Robin or Salah. Everyone knows my thoughts on this one. It's Salah for me.
I want to also add on top of that, yeah. You know the Robin stuff. You know the time where he was clutch for Bayern Munich. It was a mishit shot. He barely
clutch though.
No, Cal. He didn't mean that shot. He absolutely scuffed that shot, and it fooled Weidenfeller fella. That's how they won it.
Robin is a better footballer than Mo Salah. But if I want someone to win me a game out of nothing, then it's Mo Salah.
I'd say Robin was more naturally gifted, but Salah's the better footballer.
Yeah.
Ash says, Ends stream more dubbed than a Bruce Lee film. Big up Ends. Alex George says, you lot would rather see cheaters win the league than us. Shake my head. Yes, Alex, we would. Yeah. It is what it is, bro. You would have rather seen Man City win it over us last season as well. Akria says, no need to sweat about signing a money-hungry kid. Again, I think we just throw it all down to money. Like, there's other factors that go into it as well. Akria says, I hear what you're saying, Jay, but let's be honest, Curtis wouldn't have gotten into the team if Slot was coach back then. Maybe Trent neither, who knows?
No, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I said this the other day. I don't think if Trent was in the youth setup, I don't think Slot would play him. And I agree with that. I totally agree. Slot doesn't want... Mourinho didn't really care about youth players either, by the way, when he was manager at Chelsea and all the teams he was at. Because he weren't concerned about the future, he's concerned about the present. And I think Slot's a bit more... Slot is very much like that. But I still believe Rio is good enough to play games now because he's only got one player in his way. My whole thing about Trey and players like that is that they've got so many players in their way, it's harder for Trey to
unless
just
there's
get
an injury.
time.
Unless there's an injury crisis.
Then they play. But Rio, there's no excuses why he shouldn't get game time.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
I hear it. People, you'll be redirected to the Matt One show. So when you do go over there, please rate it by just writing Mickey or Van der Ven. He's doing a FIFA stream.
Oh, you're doing FIFA? Tell him he's not that great at FIFA as well.
I can't say that because I don't even play the game. Jay, obviously we got vibes with Kopish 10 p.m. on Big Up. Do you have anything else throughout the day today?
Yeah, I might do a FIFA stream myself a bit later. So
nice. Ram, what about yourself, bro? Anything today?
So today it will be probably a gaming stream today. Tomorrow will be the preview for Liverpool versus flipping Forest. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, this is the Ram household derby, isn't it? I forget.
Yeah. Oh shit, man. They got that. And then obviously tomorrow night, every Friday, me and Drift will be playing a game. I don't know if it'll be scary, but we'll do something, man. Play a game.
Oh. People, make sure you switch on the notification bell here as well. Make sure you subscribe to Jamie's channel, Ramsey's channel, Enzi's channel, and Monster's channel. The links will be in the description shortly. Boys, appreciate you. Thank you again. It's been another LFC in Focus show, people. Please do smash that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay blessed. We're Kopish around, people. Take care.